Good afternoon, folks.
The United States under President Joe Biden is shaping up to be quite a different America from former President Donald Trump's, as the new commander-in-chief strives to smooth relations with foreign leaders and fix its reputation among international circles.
I'm most excited about a return to normality, frankly, at the United Nations. The Trump administration was so crass and so ineffective in many of its attacks on multilateralism that it weakened international cooperation and it exhausted the diplomatic community.
The U.S. is back on board with the World Health Organization and in its global fight against the coronavirus pandemic. It's rejoining the Paris climate deal, which Trump officially withdrew from last year.
We have a president now, thank God, who leads, tells the truth, and is seized by this issue.
In a call over the weekend with French President Emmanuel Macron, President Biden committed to strengthening ties with longtime ally Paris, but also to bolster the relationship with the European Union and NATO. Political commentator Peter Emerson has worked for 3 Democratic presidential administrations.
The challenge ultimately will be that somehow our Western allies will see that this is an ongoing reestablishment of a relationship and will not be disrupted and discarded and denigrated once again in 4 years when the threat of Trump or someone who believes in what he believes in for the world may come back into power.
But pressing the reset button on America's relationship with the rest of the world isn't as straightforward as it appears. Undoing 4 years of Trump's protectionism and unilateral policy making is no walk in the park. The Biden administration has to do more than just rebuild ties with allies. It also has to find new ways to deal with old adversaries. On relations with Tehran, the new president has promised to rejoin the Iran nuclear deal if the country returns to strict compliance.
This is a complicated issue, but I think that we're most likely to see the US and Iran find a way back to mutual compliance with the JCPOA, but the US will then insist that it wants to talk about other issues, such as the Iranian missile program and perhaps Iran's behavior in other countries such as Yemen.
And then there's Pyongyang,
Good to see you again.
which saw much spectacle and promise in Trump's earlier years, but hopes for sustainable détente and an end to its nuclear ambitions quickly fizzled out.
I think that'll be a very careful review. And with that will come the recognition that Trump got played as a patsy, basically, by North Korea. That's not going to happen in the Biden administration.
While President Biden has promised to reverse much of his predecessor's foreign policy, there are areas where he is staying the course, such as on China and Ukraine. And also, rather controversially, the new administration is sticking with Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, putting into question where America now stands on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the two-state solution. Liling, CGTN, New York.